Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. Happy Thanksgiving. And welcome to my channel. I'm Alex. I'm the Devil's Advocate. I talk about music, movies, TV, video games, whatever I want to talk about on this channel. Today's a very special day because South Park aired last night. You know I love South Park. It was their Thanksgiving special for season 27, episode 9 of season 27. Also, possibly episode 4 of season 28, if they're still sticking with this joke of splitting the season into 2 seasons so they wouldn't have to have an episode 6 and 7. 6, 7, I don't know. But this week's episode, kind of in line with the last few weeks, is kind of simple. Very simple, not a lot happening, and almost, maybe some might say, like my wife, not really anything happened this season, or this episode. But it was the Thanksgiving episode. Very basic premise. There's a race. South Park has an annual turkey trot, and the end. Like, that's kind of it. They wanted the episode opens with like the city council or whatever talking about how are we going to fund the turkey trot. We don't have enough money. Affordability in this country is crazy. Inflation. And what are we going to do? And they kind of bring up and remind the audience of what happened earlier this season. Like Randy says, we don't have integrity anymore because we don't have integrity as a country, but also we don't have integrity farms because ICE snatched up all the immigrants. They have Mr. Mackey come in as the janitor because they say no one can have a decent job anymore. He got fired for being the, what do you call it? The student counselor, and had to go join ICE. And apparently now he's not in ICE anymore. He's the janitor. So that's kind of a funny term for Mr. Mackey. But then they decide, oh, why don't we ask these people? They've been giving money to everyone. And we get this great little live action ad, which I love when South Park used to do this a lot more. And I'm going to play it here.
It's the 28th annual South Park Turkey Trot, sponsored by Saudi Arabia.
But this ad, they just ask Saudi Arabia for money because, of course, because Saudi Arabia is trying to whitewash their country. And they've been doing that with sports and a Riyadh comedy festival. As we know, some of our faves, Bill Burr, notably, went and agreed. But they make jokes about, like, what is Saudi Arabia going to do with that money? Kill journalists and pay Kevin Hart? Like, we're doing a better job with their money than they are. So that's kind of the main plot. Saudi Arabia is funding the turkey trot with a $5,000 prize. And everybody, again, is struggling because of the economy under Donald Trump. And so everyone wants to win the $5,000 from Saudi Arabia. Cartman, and it's like a team race. And, you know, Cartman and the boys are on one team, and they want to... Cartman studies race science. And what he means by that is like a race. Like, we're running in a race, but it also, of course, is talking about like race science, the pseudoscience that a lot of racists use to say, like, black people run faster. And of course, Cartman goes, well, I know how we're going to win. We're going to get Token on our team, and he'll automatically win because he's the only black kid in South Park. So that's like the plot of the episode, and that's it. Is just Cartman trying to convince Token to run in the race. Token doesn't want to run in the race because it's sponsored by Saudi Arabia and he has integrity. He has integrity. But basically, Cartman, by the end of the episode, Token's just at home playing Xbox, and Cartman just takes the Xbox and runs out into the race. And by circumstances that I will get into, Token accidentally does win the race for the boys. And Cartman's just like, see? Race science. Race science wins. Which reminds me of an old episode. I think it's called Finger Bang, when Cartman decides to create a Christian rock group, again, to make a lot of money. And he goes to Token and he says, Token, I need you to play bass in my band. And Token's like, I don't know how to play bass. And he's like, you're black. You know how to play bass. Like, go to your basement. You have a bass. Come over and play bass. And he just does know how to play bass. So Cartman has been a long practicer of race science. And seemingly he knows what he's talking about. But the other plot in this episode is really where we spend most of our focus. And it's just Pete Hegseth, the Department of War, Secretary of War, because they renamed the Department of Defense the Department of War, but actually not technically. Like they're calling it that, but it's not actually legally changed the name. They're just saying that. Anyways, Pete Hegseth shows up to South Park to rescue Peter Thiel from jail. Because, you know, he's been in jail after kidnapping Cartman, and I think they dealt with that last week, or 2 weeks ago, whenever the last episode was. It's hard to keep straight, folks. There's so much space in between episodes now. But he's coming to South Park to rescue Peter Thiel on behalf of Trump and J.D. Vance so that they can get the Antichrist out of Satan's ass. That is the plot. But really, it's just Pete Hegseth running around, kind of clashing with the local police. So we get a little bit of like the National Guard and the local police kind of having to deal with ICE and the National Guard, the Army. Pete Hegseth is also making content the whole time.
There's an uprising here, some kind of insurrection. Be sure to like and subscribe.
He's got like a selfie stick and he's always filming himself, much like Kristi Noem, who then shows up in the episode to clash with him. They're like, no, this is my content that I'm making. And she goes, no, this is my content that I'm making.
Be sure to like and subscribe, guys. We've got no. This is not your content. Everyone like and subscribe to the Department of War.
Because they see the turkey trot as like leftist, anarchist terrorists. And of course, you know, there's just a town trying to celebrate Thanksgiving. So by the end of the episode, they are firing tear gas into the town. Kristi Noem shoots a dog because, of course, she does.
Fire the tear gas! Yeah!
And they're both filming themselves for content. They do a great little parody of Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone for Pete Hegseth whenever he shows up, called Pete Hegseth is a fucking douche. And that's pretty funny. But again, that's kind of it. By the end of the episode, like, they have this recurring thing of the police chief in town just kind of kicking Hegseth's ass. Just really hammering home that he is not a tough guy like he's trying to portray himself as. He's a fucking weakling little pussy. And the police chief just like lazily kind of kicks his ass, literally kicks him in the ass, and he keeps falling down forwards. And so by the end of the episode, he literally has his ass kicked into prison next to Peter Thiel, which is pretty dope, and I hope happens in real life someday. And that's kind of it. Like, it's funny. The Pete Hegseth stuff is really what the episode is focused on. I feel like this whole season is really like, all right, for the last few years, for the last 10 years, we've kind of held off as much as possible talking about Donald Trump because we find it boring. We find it hack, quite frankly. But now it is pop culture. Trump's presidency is part of our culture, and we have to deal with it. So now we're just going to take aim at everybody that we can. I have been waiting for them to bring up like Barry Weiss at CBS. I don't think they even know who that is or care. But I like to see Pete Hegseth get his ass kicked. So that was pretty funny. That was the Thanksgiving episode from South Park, folks. That's kind of it. By the way, I just want to say thank you so much for, I have like 280 something subscribers at this point, 85, 86. And over a year ago, when I really started posting consistently on this channel, I had under 50. So I even have a video that's like, thank you, 50 subscribers. So I just want to say that's what I'm thankful for this Thanksgiving, is all of you watching my stuff and enjoying it. And please spread it around, tell your friends, and click the links below, to follow me, on social media and on Twitch and whatnot, and on this space, which is also, I'm very thankful for this space for giving me a show, a weekly show on Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, that I can talk about all these things that I talk about on this channel, but also politics and just whatever I want to do. It's a lot of fun. So, folks, have a happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back in 2 weeks-ish for the finale of season 27. And I'll be back, probably streaming on Twitch this weekend. And, yeah, so thank you very much. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Love you all. Bye-bye.